but it's my presentation now.
Your presentation's still there. If we cut back to Zoom at the end, Dawn will be going to the stream, but we won't be able to see her on this projector.
But Dawn's finished her presentation.
Yeah, Dawn's finished her presentation, but we'll bring her back at the end, won't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we will. Okay, okay. Now I get you. Okay, just wave when I'm supposed to start talking, okay? Because I don't know a lot about this technical stuff. Yep. Okay. So we are live. Yes. Okay. Really sorry, everyone. Very complex setup. It's a trial and error. But let me just go back to the presentation. I was talking about the Polish community in Haiti. So yes, around 400 Polish people stayed in Haiti. They settled down. They founded a village called Casal or Casale. Some of them become pirates of the Caribbean. Some of them decided to go back to Poland eventually. But until this day, there is a Polish community in Haiti. People over there dance polka, and some of them wear Slavic braids. So another interesting fact, a lot of Poles shortened their names to just the initial 2 syllables to integrate better with the local community and make the last name sound more like the local language. So, next slide, please. Thank you. And that's another interesting thing. That's another influence that the Polish legions left behind. One of the soldiers of the Polish Legion had a picture of the Black Madonna. One of the sacred pictures of the local Haitian people. They adapted that depiction of Madonna. And incorporated her into their religious practices. So that's another influence that is left until this day in Haiti from the Polish community. Next, please. Right. Okay. I'm going to read a little bit because this is a lot. We are going back to Tadeus Kościuszko and his another comrade in battle. Jean Lapierre was also known as Domingo, probably because it was suspected he came from Haiti, that was at the time called San Domingo. He was a polyglot, he was a world traveler, he was a very talented man who quickly found his way into the army and became a personal assistant and a friend to Tadeusz Kościuszko. So when Kościuszko was captured by the Russians, Lapierre brought his personal belongings and a letter proposing a prisoner swap. Kościuszko in exchange for the 3,000 Russian soldiers imprisoned in Warsaw. Interesting fact, 12 years earlier, during the American Revolution, Kościuszko tried to win the release of a wounded black soldier in a prisoner exchange for a captured British soldier. Ironically, the situation had been reversed now. And a black man was trying to win Kościuszko's freedom by delivering a similar proposition. Next slide, please. Thank you. Joseph Sam Sandy. He was born in Cameroon, and during the First World War, he fought on the side of the French. He was captured by Germans, and he was imprisoned in Greater Poland, which was their German territory, because Poland was still under occupation by 3 different countries. When the Greater Poland uprising was taking place, he was liberated by Poles. He joined the Polish army, and during the Polish Bolshevik War, he served into the intelligence unit. Apparently, he was a very good driver. Now, after 1920, he moved to Warsaw. He started work as a taxi driver, settled down, married a Polish woman called Łucja Woźniak, and they had 2 daughters. He sadly died in 1937. On his grave, it says, African, citizen of the Polish Republic, soldier of the emerging Polish army fighting for Polish borders, boxer, wrestler, man of iron, and a loving father. And August Agbola Brown, he was apparently a very successful musician in the pre-war Warsaw. He was very famous. He wasn't born in Poland. When the war started, August joined the. First, he was delivering underground newspapers. At the time, Poland had almost 3,500 underground titles. There were brochures, there were pamphlets, and just newspapers. It was an entire underground infrastructure of a fighting nation. So he was one of the people who delivered these publications, and then he joined as a soldier. Now, after the war, luckily he survived the war. He moved to London with his family, his Polish wife and his children, and he died in 1971, and Polish remained the first language in their house. Yeah. Can I? Thank you. Okay, and now I'm going to talk about a very interesting period of Polish history. So we are now after the Second World War, and Poland is under communism. Now, communism, or socialism, should I say, was an ideology that said everyone is equal, and all the working people of the world are comrades. So Polish people in socialist Poland were very interested in independence struggles against the West. So obviously the imperialist nations, the US, the United Kingdom. Of course, there was the Iron Curtain. So everything east of the Eastern Bloc, west of the Eastern Bloc, were the imperialist powers, and the imperialist powers were also colonial powers. So Poland was and other Soviet nations, socialist nations at the time, they were very interested in independence struggles in the colonies at the time. Here I'm presenting a few pictures that are from an exhibition by Bartosz Nowicki from 2018 that explores the relationship between African nations and Poland under socialism. This particular picture says the future cadres of 3 continents promise to bury colonialism, neo-colonialism, and imperialism. Change, please. Thank you. This particular photo says hands off Congo. Another photo from the same exhibition. Now, the number of African students in Poland was growing at the time. So not only was Poland interested in what was happening in African countries, but Poland was actively encouraging African people to come to Poland, to settle down, educate themselves, and become Polish citizens. Similar efforts were made in other socialist countries. So the Polish Review was a publication describing the life of international students in socialist Poland. It was distributed between 1962 and 1972, only in African and Asian countries, to encourage more international students. Thank you. People from African countries were portrayed as comrades. Such was the ideology of socialism. It was the idea of international solidarity and struggle against the Western imperialist powers. So after 1960, when 17 African countries proclaimed independence, delegations of the politicians started to appear in Poland. Now, common opposition towards Western imperialism was the common factor that brought all those nations together. Obviously, the Soviet Union, the powers that be in the East at that time were also interested in expanding the influence of socialism and the Soviet Union to other countries. So there was obviously an interest in promoting socialism abroad in Asian and African countries. But the fact is, there was a close cooperation between Poland and several African nations when it came to exchange of students, and actively encouraging creation of a more diverse society in the East. I think that's the last slide of my presentation, Thank you very much. Sorry for the technical breaks. I'm glad, apparently I said some of the information I mentioned was new. Really glad we could introduce some new information. So yes, does Poland have a Black history? It's not a huge chapter, but we do have a few notable pages. And now I would like to introduce again Sandra Daniels, who will perform for us while we are going to take a short break. Please keep watching the live stream. The music is amazing, and I'm going to say is one of the core ingredients of tonight's event. Now, after Sandra sings, we're going to come back to the conversation, and we are going to play 2 videos from the exhibition called From Exile to Freedom that Polish Experts Association prepared in 2011. It was an exhibition that presented stories of migrants from 3 generations, from the World War refugees, people who came to England from Poland during the communism, and also stories from post-2004 migrants. Thank you.
Okay, just going to do a few songs for you. So there's some jazz in Poland, so I'm going to do a bit of jazz. All of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I never lose them. Take my arms, I'll only lose them. Your goodbye filled me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? All of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, I want to lose them. Take my arms, I'll never use them. Your goodbyes filled me with eyes that cry. How can I go on, dear, without you? for something a little bit different. I know you're not allowed to sing, but you can rock along with me if you want. You sheltered me from harm, kept me warm, kept me warm. You gave my life to me, set me free, set me free. Of all the years I ever knew, the final ones I spent with you, and I will give everything I own. Give up my life, my heart, my home. I will give everything I own just to have you back again. You taught me how to cry, don't know why, don't know why. You told those lies to me, set me free, set me free. Of all the years I ever knew, those final ones I spent with you, I would give everything I own. Give up my life, my heart, my home. I would give everything I own just to have you back again, just to hold you once again. If there's someone you know that won't let you go and taking it all for granted, you may lose them one day, someone take them away, and you don't hear a word they say. I would give everything I own, give up my life, my heart, my home. I would give everything I own just to have you back again, just to hold you once again. Yeah. I will give everything I own, give of my life, my heart, my home. I would give everything I own just to have you back again, just to hold you once again. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. We've got time for one more, or is that it? Yeah? It looks like you're back. No, that's great. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. I wonder if my mic is on. Is my mic on? Thank you. Oh my God. Sandra, amazing performance. I don't know how to follow this up. Your performance is the only uninterrupted thing tonight. Right, so as I said, we are going to now to listen to a story of a Polish migrant from the first generation migrants post-war, Jan Mokrzycki. And my colleague Oksana is going to play us the video. This is a video from, oh yeah, there we go. troubleshooting. 1 second. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so we are sorting out through technical difficulties. Believe me, we've been trying this setup for several days in different configurations, but if you are very brand new to it, you know, it takes time to pick it up. So yeah, I was just wondering, perhaps there are some questions from the audience at this point.
So Dawn was saying that on that one.
Oh, on that mic. Okay, okay. So, right, okay, yeah, please, okay.
Kształcony jako
Oh, yeah,
chirurg
yeah,
stomatolog. Otworzyłem tu w Coventry własną praktykę i wychowałem. Nazywam się Jan Mokrzycki, jestem rezydentem miasteczka w Kenilworth, gdzie mieszkamy już od około 40 lat. Urodziłem się w Warszawie na parę lat przed wojną. Koniec 1932 roku. Moi rodzice byli aresztowani przez Gestapo w 1941 roku. Ojciec, stryj, dziadek byli rozstrzelani na Pawiaku. Matka była skazana na śmierć, ale wysłana do Auschwitz. Z Auschwitz przeniesiona do Ravensbrücku. Przetrwała częściowo, bo była bardzo twardą osobą, częściowo miała troszeczkę lepiej, ponieważ z zawodu była lekarzem. Uwolnili ją z Ravensbrück Amerykanie. Tam usłyszała, że ja przetrwałem wojnę i wróciła po mnie do Polski, ale nie chciała, żebym się wychowywał w systemie komunistycznym, wobec tego wzięła mnie za kołnierz i przez zieloną granicę przedostaliśmy się najpierw do Czech, potem z Czech do Austrii, do Niemiec, gdzie została oficerem kontaktowym pomiędzy angielskim korpusem i pierwszą dywizją generała Maczka. Wraz z nimi przyjechaliśmy do Anglii. W Anglii mama szczęśliwie mogła pracować w swoim zawodzie, ponieważ pracowała jako lekarz w wojsku, wobec tego mogła pracować jako lekarz cywilny, natomiast jej specjalizacja nie była uznana przez Brytyjczyków, więc musiała się na nowo specjalizować, a była specjalistą chorób płucnych. A ja poszedłem do szkoły. Ja wychowałem się w rodzinie angielskiej przez pierwszy rok, także natychmiast musiałem się nauczyć angielskiego, bo jeżeli chciałem szklankę wody, to musiałem poprosić po nią po angielsku, bo nie mówili słowa po polsku. Stąd stosunkowo nie najgorzej mówię dziś po angielsku. Tu skończyłem szkołę, tu skończyłem uniwersytet, zostałem wykształcony jako chirurg stomatolog. Otworzyłem tu w Coventry własną praktykę i wychowałem się i założyłem życie najpierw w Coventry, a potem tuż obok tu w Kenilworth. Problemy wówczas były o wiele większe niż te problemy, z którymi Polacy spotykają się dzisiaj. Po prostu byliśmy tutaj niechcianymi gośćmi. Brytyjczycy chcieli, żeby Polacy wrócili do Polski. Tuż po wojnie było ogromne bezrobocie, ponieważ w czasie wojny kobiety pracowały tutaj w fabrykach i zajęły miejsca mężczyzn, którzy wrócili potem z wojska i nie było dla nich pracy. Więc było duże bezrobocie. Anglia była w ogromnych długach z powodu wojny. Wszystko było na kartki. Mięso prawie że nie można było dostać. Potem cała Polonia tutaj przyzwyczaiła się do tego życia w Anglii. Było to dziwne życie o tyle, że odwrotnie od tego, co jest dzisiaj, Polska była krajem szalenie oddalonym. Wiele ludzi w ogóle nie chciało jeździć do tej Polski. My żeśmy już w latach 60. zaczęli do Polski jeździć, ponieważ uważałem, że jeżeli nasze dzieci mają się czuć Polakami, mają znać ten język, mogą rozumieć, dlaczego rodzice wysyłają ich na siłę do szkoły sobotniej, to muszą ten dziwny kraj odwiedzać. No i był ten ogromny kontrast między Anglią, która wtedy już była tym krajem zachodnim, gdzie było w brud wszystkiego, gdzie ludziom się powodziło stosunkowo dobrze, a Polską, która była w systemie komunistycznym, gdzie były ogromne braki, gdzie chociaż mówiło się zastaw się, a postaw się, to pomimo tego odczuwały się te braki, jak się przyjeżdżało do rodziny. Więc my żeśmy zawsze jeździli samochodem i ten samochód był wyładowany ciuchami wszelkiego rodzaju, ażeby tą rodzinę jakoś, żeby im jakoś pomóc. Anglia była nowym domem bezwarunkowo i czuliśmy się tutaj po pewnym okresie czasu jak u siebie w domu, ale serce dalej było tam nad Wisłą. Trzeba pamiętać, że Polonia tutaj, główna część tej Polonii to byli żołnierze, którzy byli przygotowani do życia razem. I wobec tego, jak z tych obozów, które Brytyjczycy stworzyli dla Polaków, gdzie kształcili ich w jakichś zawodach, tych, którzy nie mieli zawodów, także szewcy, intrologatorzy, czy Bóg wie co, osiedlali się w tych okolicach, gdzie była praca, ale stosunkowo niedaleko tych obozów. Więc powstały te centra, powstały natychmiast polskie kościoły i wokoło tych kościołów i wokoło klubów Stowarzyszenia Polskich Kombatantów powstawały polskie grupy. I to przetrwało po dzień dzisiejszy. To jest do pewnego stopnia ten testament, który Stara Polonia pozostawiła wam nowo przybywym, że są te polskie domy, są te polskie kościoły, te polskie centra, które mam nadzieję, że wy będziecie używać i będziecie na nich budować swoją przyszłość, a zarazem zbudujecie nowe. Ja jestem właściwie z nieistniejącego tutaj pokolenia. Nas była maleńka grupka, bo ja przyjechałem tutaj jako bardzo młody nastolatek. Miałem zaś 14 lat, jak przyjechałem do Anglii. I takich jak ja było minimalnie. Są albo ludzie, którzy już zaczęli się rodzić w Anglii, albo ci, którzy przyjechali tutaj jako wojsko, jako ludzie dorośli. A ta moja mniej więcej generacja jest prawie że nieistniejąca, bo te dzieci, które były wywiezione do Rosji, przeważnie niestety w tej Rosji straciły życie. Więc nie było ich, żeby tu mogły przyjechać. Są oczywiście, ale jest mojej grupy wiekowej jest bardzo, bardzo mało. Mam nadzieję, że ci ludzie, którzy tu przyjechali, nie zapomną skąd pochodzą, że nie tylko oni, ale ich dzieci i wnuki będą dumni z tego. Moje wnuki w tej chwili wszystkie odwiedzają Polskę, wszystkie są Brytyjczykami polskiego pochodzenia, ale są bardzo dumni ze swojego pochodzenia i znają te swoje korzenie. I to jest coś bardzo ważnego, ponieważ korzeń człowieka jest częścią tego człowieka i należy z tego być dumnym. Należy być dumnym w naszej polskości. My żeśmy osiągnęli bardzo dużo. Nie miejmy tej niesamowitej wstydu, bo nie mamy się czego wstydzić. Mamy raczej powody do dumy. W tej chwili lada dzień córka i jej dzieci mają zamiar przyjąć polskie obywatelstwo, także będą mieli podwójne obywatelstwo. To po prostu z jakiegoś powodu zdecydowali, że chcą mieć polskie obywatelstwo i Bogu dzięki. Dlaczego nie? Mam nadzieję, że to się stanie tak samo z dziećmi mojego syna. Zobaczymy.
Nazywam się Ryszard Weber. Jestem prezesem Polskiego Koła Katolickiego w Birmingham.
Thank you. Okay, there's something else playing in the background. Right, so we've gone a bit over time, so we're just going to get back to Dawn. Before we finish the event tonight. So the story that you just heard is from Jan Mokrzycki. It's part of our From Exile to Freedom exhibition that we prepared in 2011. Well, not we, that was way before I joined the Polish Experts Association team, but yes, this is the work of our organization. So basically, today we've heard different stories of African and Caribbean migration to the UK, Polish migration to the UK, African migration to Poland, and Polish expeditions to the Caribbean. So, but basically the reason for the reason for organizing this event today is it's Black History Month. Our two communities, our multiple communities, should I say, because it's not just two communities. Our communities now live side by side. One way or another, we ended up in this country and we are neighbors. Those of us who, I'm talking about the Central and Eastern European community right now, who came here recently, a lot of us planned to be here for just a year. Just 6 months, just to earn some money and then just go back to Poland and our previous lives. And before we knew it, it's been 10, 15 years and we're still here. So it looks like we are going to stay here. This is why it's important that we know the histories of our neighbors and that we share our own migration stories and exchange points of view. We've had similar experiences when we first came here. The initial hostility from the native community, the cultural shock, the lack of understanding of different culture, different customs, the two taps that remain a mystery to us until this day. So there is a number of things we can learn from each other. Now we're just waiting for Dawn to join the conversation.
I am here. Can you hear me?
Oh, you're here, Dawn. Right, I'm waiting for you to come up on the screen. Okay.
Well, I'm here. I don't know why I'm not on the screen.
Okay, that's fine. Well, but you can hear me. I can hear you. So yeah. Let's not risk any more technical faults tonight.
That's fine.
Yeah. So sorry for that long monologue. I was just saying, we've had quite a variety of different stories of cultural exchange between the Black and the Polish communities, which was basically the point of the event. And as an organization, we're happy that we could organize this with the Black Heritage Walks Network. So what do you think would be the what do you think is the oh, I just lost it. I wanted to go back for one time to something that you said while delivering your presentation. You said about middle class people coming from the Caribbean to become essentially working class here in the UK. This is something that our community can also relate to because of the language barrier. A lot of us, despite having qualifications from Poland, also end up in low-paid jobs. The truth is, before 1989, most people in Poland could only learn Russian. So right now we have English at schools. That wasn't always the case. But I was wondering, Dawn, do you think there's something about Handsworth that makes it a destination for migrants? Because the new wave of Central and Eastern European migrants also seems to be largely concentrated in Handsworth.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting watching the film with the guy from Coventry who was a dentist, because some of the things he said resonate so much with our community, in terms of lots of things he was saying. And as I said before, when the Caribbean community came, many of them were middle class, had lots of skills. They had to retake their exams or redo skills to prove that they were worthy to get some of the jobs. But it's I think Handsworth is one of those areas, and I've done lots of other projects which are not Black related, where it's always attracted activists, artisans, people, free thinkers. So you've got like the Loon Society who were here, in the Handsworth area, who coined the whole Industrial Revolution, with their brilliance, and their ideology and their ideas. And so it attracted those type of people. You had the suffragettes in the early 1900s, which were middle class women who were fighting for the right, the votes, to have voting rights and stuff. And they were big in the Handsworth area. And as you said, there's been waves and waves of communities. I mean, if you used to walk down Soho Road in the late 60s, early 70s, I mean, I never used to live in Birmingham, but I used to travel to Birmingham to come visit family. And I always wanted to come to Handsworth. And the reason why I wanted to come to Handsworth, because, in the 70s when I was a kid, you'd walk down Soho Road and it felt like it was an all-black community. It felt like, to me it was like Mecca. I thought, this is it, because I lived in Leicester. It was a quiet, sleepy town, and there weren't that many black people. And to come to Handsworth and see shops owned by black people, and just on a Saturday you just see black people walking around. There used to be like 3 cinemas, believe it or not, down the Soho Road, and we used to come out and go to the cinemas, during those times and go and watch films. And it was a real buzzing community. And then after that, you saw, due to whatever reasons, the influx of the Pakistani and the Bengali communities. I mean, because at the time when the Caribbeans were there, I think the Caribbean and the Sikh community lived side by side with the Irish community. And then you had like the Bengali community move into the area. Then it was like the first wave of the Eastern European community. And then you have like the Somali, African community come into the Handsworth area, and then the second wave of the Eastern European community as well. So there's been, and I don't know what it is, but I think it's just that kind of attraction to free thinkers. I think that's the reason.
I like that theory, but yeah, Handsworth seems like the capital of Birmingham's migration, which is great. I personally really love Handsworth and live just outside it, and yeah. Right. So I just wanted to ask the audience. If there are any questions about what either Dawn or myself talked about during today's event. And are there any questions on Facebook, perhaps? Okay. Right. So basically, I wanted to thank you very much, Dawn, for joining us. I also regret that you couldn't be here with us in person, but thank you for joining via Zoom. I hope you find something enough to do during your quarantine. Now, and for my organization, I just want to say that we are happy that we had the opportunity to deliver this event to celebrate Black History Month. Like I mentioned, we live in the UK. We're part of the multicultural community of Birmingham, and with the Black Lives Matter movement taking over the whole world, there is no excuse to not know Black history anymore. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching us tonight, and come to more of our events, ours.
And thank you for inviting us as well. We've really enjoyed being part of this event. It's been a wonderful event, despite all the technical hitches. And I hope it's one of many more to come. We love working with you, and just thanks for this opportunity, and thanks for embracing Black History Month.
That's fully reciprocated, Dawn. We also love working with you as part of Black Heritage Walks Network and Legacy West Midlands. Hopefully we'll organize many more events together. Thank you very much, everyone, and good night.
Thank you.